Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to join the HKVU Library event, the AImagine Hub Library Intelligent Research Tools Series. I am Wallace from the HKVU Library. So, can you hear me and can you see the screen very clearly? Can you type a quick message in the chat? Okay, great. All right, thank you. So today, we are happy to have Bishri from the Scite AI. So actually, the library subscribed to Scite AI just 4 months ago. So this is pretty new to HKVU library and even all of our user. So today, we were going to demonstrate the site's key features and also the best way to unlock the potential of using how to use the site for academic research. So let me stop here and pass the stage to Bistri. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So as well as said, I'm Beatrice, and I'm the licensing manager at Scite. And today I will be giving you an overview on Scite and how to best use Scite. And we like to start with giving you a little bit of background information on Scite AI and how it's different from other tools that you may be using currently. So I'm going to start. So I shared my screen already, so you be able to see it. And now I will be jumping into the presentation. After the presentation, we will be jumping into the platform, and then we'll have also a Q&A session as well. Anything that I'm unable to answer, if it's on a more technical side, or if I need to seek other parties' information internally, I will take the question with me, and then I will get back to you. If you have any questions while you're using the platform as well, you can always get back to Wallace, and then Wallace will get back to us, and then we will answer those, and then we can also have another session as we go, a more focused session, because we understand that this is actually an overview and for you guys to start with the platform. So don't worry, you'll get there. So to start with, we'd like to give you a bit of background information on Scite, and also so for you to understand what Scite is, and also how we different from other tools out there. So we started in 2018 in Brooklyn in the US, and what we did for the first 5 years of our new endeavor is that we were seeking publisher agreements and data holders agreements, and those are very important because that's what makes Scite different from other tools out there, is that we do have the publisher agreement, we do have those mining agreements. Since we've been doing that since 2018, other tools out there like Consensus and others have been around not as long as we have, and they haven't had those publisher agreements, which means that we are able to mine the full text when we use the full text on our platform. And this basically is what makes Scite so different from other tools. And we also use data from OpenAlex, Crossref, but mainly we do have those publisher agreements, which we are still on the go with, and we're still expanding as well every day. So and that basically shows into our user base, because when in 2022 we had 130,000 users, we jumped from that number to 1.3 million, and I think we're closer to 1.5 now. And most of those are in the academic segment. As you can see on the screen, we do have quite a wide range of university using us from the US. So we'll have university like Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins, but also Clemson. And then we go to Europe, we have Leipzig, universities in Italy, Spain. We do have a big uptake in Switzerland. So we have ETH Zurich, which is quite a big university, and University of Zurich as well. And then we do have the Middle East, and then also Asia as well. And you can see you are also on the board with being one of our users. Moving on to what we did after those 5 years. So what we did is that we were able to create an independent reference graph, which is now close to 2 billion references, thanks to those indexing agreements and publishing partnerships. We're able to use the full text. So this means that we're able to use the open access, of course, like everyone else, but as well as behind the paywall sources to extract those citation statements. So as you quickly understood, those citation statements are a cornerstone to the Scite approach, and it basically tells you if a paper is good or not. So it's really circling around that science of reproducibility. So when we deal with the full text, the book chapters, the peer-reviewed articles, the preprints, we identify in-text citations in those full texts and extract the relevant text based on the licenses that we have. Important to understand that we have much more than just peer-reviewed articles, which makes it also very different. We cover a bunch of format, which I will show you in a minute as well. So what it allows us to do is that it allows us to take several phrases before and after the reference, which create a rich context around a citation, and then we classify the citation. So we classify into 3 categories: the supporting, the mentioning, and the contrasted. The example here on the screen is a supporting one, because it says in accordance with the previous report, and then the reference, and then the author continues explaining her point. So it's not just mentioned, but results have been supported. That's very important also because we do have those smart citation index, which is very unique to Scite as well. And it really gives you context about a paper as well. And then we have the mentioning one, and that's also a very important category that shouldn't be overlooked because it is non-judgmental. So it's typically taken from the methodology, the introduction, but it's something that really gives you rich context around a research topic in a specific field. And then we have the contrasted one. This one is quite interesting because you can find things like we failed to reproduce XYZ, or we arrived to a different results than XYZ. So it's really a new way to look at the science, and it's not about how many times your paper was referenced, but actually a measure of quality, whether it was supported, contrasted, or mentioned. I will be also covering a little bit on how we do that on the more technical side. So as you can see on the screen here, we do have machine learning, our own machine learning that we have created as well. So we do have 11 machine learning models with 20 to 30 features each to extract the citation information. And then we have one deep learning model to classify those statements as supporting, contrasting, or mentioned. And those were trained on 40,000 citation statements, and they were manually trained, which is quite important to highlight as well. Moving on, and this is a very important slide because it really captures the scope of the data that Scite has. And I mentioned that we do much more than peer-reviewed articles. We also have author information through ORCID. So if any of you have an ORCID profile, you can link it to Scite and you can see how well your paper were cited or how well you cited other papers as well. We have institutional knowledge as well that you can look up. So you can look up at another university, looking at the publishing output, for example, and how well their paper were supported or contrasted or just mentioned. And then we do have, we cover more than 100,000 journals as well to date. So you can also look those up on our dashboards as well. And we do also get information like editorial notices, which is also very unique to Scite. So you will get information as a paper which have been retracted or paper which have had erratums on them. So that's quite important if you are looking to do a reference check on a particular paper and checking on the references, because then you know if a paper has been retracted and has had any issues on or not, and then you can remove it from your paper as well. So quite important. A little bit about our founder, because I think that's also very important to understand where we're coming from. from that end. So we have Professor Sean Rife, who is a professor at Murray State University. He's using AI in his classroom. He's teaching a lot of master classes on AI as well, and how to use AI in the classroom. We just have one with TU Graz in Austria last week, for example. And then we do have Josh Nicholson, who is a biologist by founder. So he also is very active and more so on the corporate side, but we do understand the value of good data as well. Jumping into the platform now, if let me know if I can, yeah, so here it is. So you should see an article that I'm showing right now. We like to show Scite in couple of different ways, and those are the ways that would be the most useful to you, to your institution, based on discussions that we previously had with your librarians as well. So I'm going to start with something that you could come across, which is having a journal article. And please note that I show you this to show you the functionality more so than just the journal itself and also the theme of the journal. Although this one is very close to my heart because it's been written by Josh Nicholson, and Josh Nicholson, as you now know, is our founder. So if you do have a journal on hand or an article on hand, what you can do is that basically you can come in here and you can see that the first information that you have on Scite is stated here. So this is the Scite plugin. If you do not have the plugin, do install it. It's free and it will be supporting you while you're looking at journal articles, but also third party while you're doing your research. And quite important to understand also how we summarize. So now, as you know, we have the summary here. So that's the citation summary here that we have on the screen. And it says 102 times. So it's been cited 102 times. It's been supported 5 times. It's been mentioned 94 times. And it hasn't been contrasted. If I do click on this, I will be rerouted to the platform. Anything that I show you today, you will have access to. There is no threshold, so you can use it at any time when you like. And sorry, I have a bit of a sad internet today. The joy of working remotely. So this is when you get into Scite. When you click on the plugin, you get rerouted, and then you'll have more information about the particular article that you were looking at. So here you have the same information. As I mentioned before, we have author information, so everything is hyperlinked. Those author information come from ORCID as well. And here, that's where it starts getting interesting because you do have the citation statements. So here you have 99 citation statements taken from 102 publications. The first one here is a supporting one because it says in agreement with Josh's work. So Josh is the author, and then it goes on with the related work. If you hover over that related work, you can have more information about that related work. You have their Scite badge that gives you more information, and then you can go in that direction as well to delve deeper into the related work as well. Now, if you tell yourself for 99 citation statements, it's still quite a lot, you can come in here and you can use the filters. Filters are quite important on the Scite platform, and you will see after when you do an advanced search, you can see here that you can search by paper sections, you can search by citation types, you can search by year published. This one is quite heavily used, so the 3 to 4 last years publication types. So this is only a little example on what we cover. And then here you come up And you can also type in, and then it mines through those citation statements as well. Now, if you wanted to go straight into an advanced search, you could. And I like to show the assistant at the end. I know this is a feature that it's mostly used, but Scite, it's much more than the assistant. You can do advanced search, so you can search by title, author, keywords, or DOI. And here you can come in here. I will do a very general, broad subject that has quite a lot of coverage. So it's 600,000 plus results that we have. And from here, you can do many things. So you can use the filters. And as I mentioned before, the filters are quite important because here, and that's also something that makes us quite different because you have the authors here. You can do by author, you can do by year, you can do by sections as well, by types, supporting contrasted mentioned, by citations. If you wanted to start at 10 supporting, 5 mentioned, and 10 contrasted, you could as well. The journals, that's where a relationship to the publisher come handy. The affiliation data as well, the Chinese Academy of Science being the one that has published the most on that subject. The publication types, and this is where it gets interesting because you can really delve down and pin down what you're looking for in terms of the publication type if you're looking for something very specific. The topic as well, and you can like select or just put it in here. And then the editorial notice. And this is something that you won't get with any other tools out there. You can see the papers, you can see the ones that have been withdrawn, retracted, or has had correction on them. And that's pretty important if you do research and you want to understand what's being said about the particular topic. And then you have the mesh, which might be less relevant to you. So from here, I will be applying filters because I think they're quite powerful. And I will do 9, I would do 8, and I would do 9. What I want to have is I'm going to be less up. I want to do around 700 around 700 because I think that's what I'm looking for right now. Exactly. And from here, I want to understand what's being said about the particular topic with the filters that I have applied. So I will be going into issuing a report. Those reports are useful. As I mentioned, if you are looking to very quickly understand what's being said, you can do it 10, 15 minutes prior to a meeting or just to have a very quick understanding. So here you have the introduction. Here you have the major players in that field. So again, the researchers, everything is hyperlinked, so you can go ahead and dive deeper into those as well. We have the institution, and here that's the one. I should say that this are the one that has the most supported papers in this field, and this is what's being said around that particular topic. Again, you still have the context as well as the journals where it's taken from. So you have the snippets, so you understand quickly what's being said, and then you can jump back. This can be shared as well within users. If you needed to share this, you could. You can download it. It's a PDF. And then if you wanted to have to follow up on that particular subject, laser physics, you can come in here and you can create a dashboard. If you wanted to do, and I should have said this before, if you wanted to do a more detailed search, what you can do from here is that you can put and or not. It's a Boolean search, basically. And we've tested it with a research group in Australia on more than 400 terms. So you have room to really go on a granular level from here. But we chose to use the filters. And so from here, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to create a dashboard. A dashboard is a dynamic way on following up on a particular search term, on a DOI, on an author. And from here, you can say you like save the search queries, and also you can also save it, pin it down to your dashboards. which will look like this. And when I say it's a dynamic way of following up on a theme, it's because when it changes on the publication side, on the citation types, editorial notice, you basically are going to get a notification. So here you see that I'm getting notified through the platform that some citation have been added on AI in economics, on circular carbon economy, and then I can go in here and also follow up more closely on what has changed. Now, if you come down here, you still have the authors as well that are the main players in that field, but also here you have the articles, and you can, again, use the filters to go very deep into those papers if you need to. If you wanted to collaborate, and this is something that we have implemented last year, end of last year, you can come in here and you can share your dashboard amongst each other. So you just need to put an email address here, and then you can share the dashboard, and then you can start collaborating with your colleagues as well. You wanted to review all of your dashboards, you can go under my profile. Here you can see that this is what I was highlighting early on. You can create a Connect Your ORCID profile if you wanted to, and then you can see how you've been cited or how you cited others. And here under tools, you have the dashboards, which we've just created. So this, for example, is an author that I just created. And if I come in here, I can see that I have laser physics. This is the one I just created today. As of this date, I can remove it if I wanted to. And then here, I can create a new dashboard. New dashboard are great. If you're using Zotero Mendeley, we have plugins for that. If you're using EndNote or Citavi, you can also create your custom dashboard / library. What you just need is that to upload 1,000 DOIs, up to 1,000 DOIs, to create that dashboard / library, which will live under your profile as well. And what that is going to be useful for is that you will be able to use it within the assistant. If, for example, you're doing a particular research on a set of papers, you could upload that set of paper, and then you can run it through the assistant and query the assistant to go only through that library as well. So I highly invite you to create those custom dashboards. They're quite useful if you're doing research or if you wanted to do any kind of literature review as well. Before I move into the assistant, here is the reference check. The reference check is quite useful. And I actually just had a session with one of our Danish professors on that. So the reference check will be useful so you can upload a paper, PDF, or a Word paper, and then what it does is that it's going to basically tell you if a paper is good or not. Tell me that, and here it is. And so it's very important to understand that this is currently, we are actually changing the reference check into evolving the feature into something else. So, and that we can have another session on. But for now, the reference check is when you upload a Word or PDF into the system with your references and citation, and then basically it will go through that paper, and you will be able to see if any of the references that you have uploaded in that paper have any issues. And this is what it will look like. So it will tell you it has 2 references with editorial concerns, and then you can come in here and then you can hover over the first one, for example, and then it tells you, well, this paper has been retracted in 2015, originally published in 2009 in Cell, and then retracted and then retracted in 2015, but this author put it into his paper, put that particular reference in his paper in 2018, And he did publish it in 2018 without knowing that it's been retracted in 2015. So this is something that is also useful, and that's an additional value that Scite also brings amongst students and professors. And some of the professors also are using it within the classroom to also teach the students how to use an AI tool and how to ethically use AI tools. So meaning like to double check on your references and be aware that some references could be problematic before you put them into your paper. So always double check on those as well. So that's also something that could be useful. Now jumping into the assistant. Assistant is our response to ChatGPT, of course. We've had the assistant for quite a while now, and I think we quite were the major player in that field in terms of the AI assistant. So basically you type a question here, you can put a table mode here, you can open the settings. I will be doing this one, for example. So this is always evolving. We have, if you are an early Scite user, you can remember that this has evolved quite heavily. And of course, it's always changing. And we like to get the feedback as well from our users. So if there is something that you think that might be useful to you, just share that with us. And I will tell you a little bit more about that as well. So this is the assistant. Assistant, basically, you here have on the main screen, on the central screen, the response to your query. And here you will have the search strategy. We also always say that it's a more transparent way of searching with an assistant, because you do have a search strategy here, so you can edit that search strategy, of course, but you do have it. You have the steps it went through to get you to that answer. You have the publication it went through, and then here you have the references as well. So you have that background information, so you're not lost into just having a response and not knowing where it comes from, which is quite important nowadays to always double check on your sources and references. And then here we do have a human side to the assistant, is that it's not the machine that is going to tell you what you are looking for, but you are guiding the response. And the assistant settings is basically filters that you will be using. So you can use the table mode. And again, going back to what I said about building a relationship to our users, this is something that we've implemented end of last year's because of popular demand of the table mode. This is heavily used in very particular field to literature review as well. So you can select this and you can go ahead and use that. So it will trigger a table mode view. Year range, if you're using the table mode, I would advise to put the year range. Publication types as well. Again, you can filter by that, citation style. The model, so we're not using just one model, but we're using several models. So we just don't rely on one, which is also quite unique to us. So we do GPT, we do Claude, amongst other, and then Haiku as well. And then here you have the journal. Again, if, for example, you wanted your query to only go through nature, you can put nature in there, you can put Cell, you can put any ADS, Springer journal in here that you can search through. You can select your dashboards, very important if you are doing a search on a very particular set of papers or a search term that you have here and that you have are following up on. So it will be here on the dashboard. Also your library, dashboard/library, the one that I showed you earlier, to upload through Citavi or EndNote or any other reference tool manager, it will be here. And then here you can analyze the document. This is the document that we've used in the reference check. You can analyze it and you can ask the assistant to go through that document as well. And then you can apply. You can rerun the search with the little arrows here. And then this should give me a table mode as well. So you'll see that the table mode is you can add, so you can customize it a little bit. To be noted is that right now you can we are implementing that feature as well, so you'll be able to download it into a CSV, but that's not quite, we're not quite there yet, but we will get to that as well. Here you can add a column, you can really customize it as well, and then you can add the column and then rerun and then really tailor it to your needs. Now, I've been also mentioning a lot that you can use the plugins, and I think it's important for me to show you where to find those. Under Product, Free Resources, Browser Extension, Zotero plugin, you can find those there. So I would invite you, if your IT permits it, to use the browser extension and also the Zotero plugin to do what I showed you in terms of like the dashboard/library, but also if you're using, if you wanted to have more information outside the platform on a particular article that you're looking at, you could have that quick understanding using the plugin I showed you. And then as well, you can come in here because I understand that I have been showing a lot of life science, but also physical science, but you can see, you can come in here and you can have a better understanding on what we cover as well, which I think it's very important to understand that we do get on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis a lot of information. And I should say that now it's updated on a monthly, on a daily basis. So all the information, all the subjects are here. To be noted is that most of the research is done in English. We do ingest other languages. So I'm, for example, a French speaker and a German speaker. So I do use the assistant in that regards. But I know that it's a bit tricky on other languages. So just understand that we are ingesting anything that should be open access should be also into the assistant if you're looking at a particular paper in a particular language, but that most of the literature will be in English, and that 95% of the literature ingested will be in English as well. And that's great because you know, I'm not a native English speaker, so it makes my life quite easier when I do run my queries through the assistant. Any questions? I'm going to stop there for a minute because I'm mindful of time, and I think it's important to have a Q&A session. And that's also all right, so let me go through the chat. Okay, so you have the access. I think Wallace just sent it to you. So this example search for laser physics sounds neutral. I don't understand how it could be supported. All right, it sounds neutral. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of research about laser physics. So this is a particular valid like a search term that is being used in the field of research, and any paper on that will be classified. So if you want to do any particular specific research on your field of research, you can go into the advanced search and do it. This was also for the purpose of the example, of course, which I did say at the start of the presentation. So please go ahead and you can do searches on many things. We did have also, we have very particular subject field that we cover. As I mentioned, we were working with Harvard Medical School, so they do have a lot of very specific search that they're conducting. So yes, Ian, go ahead and do your search, and then you'll see that you can have those results as well on those. For the purpose, you upload yourself, yes, into, so in the reference check would be the one, but in the dashboard, it's the DOIs, just to make make it clear. Do they contain within my profile? They become a part of your, no. And that is a very good, that's a very good point, Marta. So we are GDPR compliant, and we are also very careful about how your information are being used. So anything that is uploaded stays into your profile. The only thing that is shared is when you start sharing dashboards, and that's the only feature that allows you to collaborate and share anything that you would want to share in that case, the dashboards. Anything that is under your profile will stay under your profile, and it's also not being used in the language model that to train a language model, and that's also an advantage of having an institutional license versus just an individual license as well. So no, that's the shortest answer. And I do invite you to use Scite and to go ahead and roll with the advanced search, but also the assistant, because that's the feature that's mostly used, of course, and we understand that. Any other questions? Don't worry if you do not have, I know you're just starting your site endeavor, so anything that can be answered later on, once you have a grip on the platform, can be answered later on, and we can have another more focused session as well around the assistant, or and there's also a really great notebook that we have to help you navigate the assistant, and I will share that with Wallace so he can share it with all of you as well.
Okay. So I have one question.
Sure.
Because I try to use the reference check. I just
Yeah.
wonder, do the science team have any maybe data or similar things about the accuracy rate of the reference check function?
So what are you looking for? Did you upload so it's a Word or a PDF, and then it basically checks on your references that you uploaded. Did you what is it that you were looking at to do, and did you not get the answer you were looking for? I think
Yeah,
those are my questions.
yeah, because we have because during this week we also have a hands-on song in holding in the library. So I
Mm-hmm.
think one of the faculty we have some discussion because one thing that he thought about the reference check could be like maybe his students their coursework he can actually upload and check the reference. He just
Mm-hmm.
wonder about the accuracy rate. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, like, yeah,
You mean like about the accuracy, like how accurate it is on
yeah,
a to find? Yeah.
yeah,
So I oops, am I sharing my screen still? Oop, that's the
yeah.
wrong one. Uh, so we have a little video on how it works, but that's not what I wanted to show you. Actually, I wanted to go back and show you the reference check. So it is accurate if you have put the citation in the right way that it should be, that it that citation, you put your citation in, you should be able to find any citation that are problematic. So it's quite accurate because it's being used by professors and students of ours quite heavily, and that's why we are changing it in the next few weeks to come to make it even more so accurate in terms of detecting those references and also telling you more about those references. But I cannot just now talk about that, but just know it's coming up. So if you have any kind of issues with the reference check, I would invite you to like email me right away, because that's something that we may change, and I can answer that, and I can also bring it to the product team. But it's quite accurate. It's one of the feature that it's mostly used with the assistant amongst teachers, professors, and also students now. to use the ethical side of it and make sure they double check on whatever they write in their papers as well.
Okay.
And I shared something in the chat. I'm not sure if you've seen this. I've shared a prompt handbook for Scite Assistant. That's quite useful if you wanted to use it as well. Just yeah, download it, and it's something that it's just a little guide as well that it can be quite useful that we share with our users.
Oh, can we find this guy from the internet?
That's not publicly
Mhm.
available,
Oh,
something that you have as users, but I can send it to you as well within an email if you wanted to, but you can put it into your internal database if you wanted to have it for your students and professors and researchers.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Any more questions?
So I hope that the session was quite useful to you, to all of you. And yeah, happy site use and any feedback welcome. So make sure you are sharing the feedback and any other questions you may have, and or if you wanted to have a more specific training on something, just let us know as well.
Hmm. So maybe I can ask one more questions about the
Yeah,
dashboard.
yeah.
Yeah, because I I see the dashboard. I'm not very clear about the how to use the dashboard. Is it we can
Okay.
only like download some PDF articles and then upload all these article to the dashboard? Is this only way to do to create a new dashboard?
So a couple of ways you can create a dashboard. So you can create from your advanced search. So if we do like a bone regeneration, and sorry for the general term again, but I think it's important to be covering something quite general. So you see that you can do it from here. So basically, you put it here. You can put a search term. You can put a GUI. You can put a an author here that you can search through. And then what you do, it's basically you can create it from here. So what I do usually is that you don't want to have 200,000 results. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to filter down my results to make it less and to be able to like pin it down. So I have 100, which I want to, and then here you can create the dashboard from here. So from your advanced search using the search term DOI or author, and then here you can save it. Now, if you wanted to use your reference tool manager like Article Galaxy or Citavi or EndNote, you can come under my profile. And that's where you can use the set of DOIs that you will be uploading by creating a new dashboard, which is called custom dashboard, but I like to call it the library, your dashboard slash library. And that's where you're going to come in here and upload your DOIs to run the request through the assistant. So a couple of ways you can do it basically.
So because HKBU library is actually using EndNote, so what we're going to do is like download the file from EndNote and then upload to the site. Is that right?
Yeah, is that's correct, exactly correct. And if you're using EndNote, that's not a problem. You can also use those DOIs and upload it in here, and then you can customize your this part as well.
Okay, I see.
I think they're using BibTeX, aren't they? EndNote, if I'm correct. I think you can like upload it into a bib format. But yeah, do let me know if you do have any questions on that, and I can follow up as well
Oh,
offline.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. So any more questions? If no, then yeah, thank you so much for Beatrice to share with us about the effective way using the site. So one last thing I want to mention to everyone that is we are going to have another Zoom section on tomorrow 4 p.m. We invite the Scopus AIs. The representative will also provide us a demonstration. So hope to see you on tomorrow afternoon. And thank you everyone for joining this section. Um, hope to see you then tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.